What's good, Council of Comics? You know we're here for another new comic book day. We at the Alterniverse, of course, and this is the week before Alternicon. Alternicon is this Saturday, August 13th. Y'all gotta be there. We're gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about some Comic Cons and all this other nastiness that's going on. Let's go.
Yeah, shout out to Madness. Yeah, Rogue Nation 845. Bro.
Woo! What's good, y'all? It's your favorite day of the week. What's good, bro?
How you doing, bro?
Chilling? Yo, this dude's Starship chair is getting bigger and bigger every week. What's good? Let me hear your story, man.
I haven't seen it before.
What happened?
Oh, we gotta sit down and talk about the whole thing.
Okay.
You want to wait to anybody else, or we have like a roundtable discussion on
Yeah,
that?
we should have a little talk about that.
Yeah. Then I'll tell you like the big story that happened with me and Paul. And this has been happening for years, so.
Yeah? Alright.
But this is the first time somebody's actually got caught doing it, so that's why it made it so big. And then CGC got involved, so I think that's what made it started going like crazy, spiraling. But this has been happening for years. For about 3 years, it's been happening.
Really?
Yep. All these dudes, they have like a little Illuminati. Like Comic Tom, Nerdy Girl, like all of them.
Say the names.
And I say all the names. I call them all, but they're all together and they all get shit for each other, multiple copies of it, and they're all selling it on their platform.
Crazy.
And that's how they're making money. And listen, if that's how you make money, cool. But do it the right way, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of these dudes, what they're doing is they get into these cons early. And they're getting all these books early before people see it. What this chick did was they didn't have their books out early enough, so she had to wait in line. And then she did that bullshit with the 75 copies in front of everybody.
I blame, like, part of it's on Black Flag too. Like, he's talking about
But
they were pre-ordered. I was like, okay, if they're pre-ordered, put them aside. Don't give short boxes to people in front of the people waiting on the line.
They're idiots too. Number one, the first person is the buyers. Those are the first people that you gotta blame. Because if you're buying a book that's didn't sell out and they're putting a cover on it just to sell it, and then you paying $30-$40
how do you get a 10.0?
with 4 staples.
How do you get a 10.0?
With 4 staples, I couldn't believe it.
It's not possible.
Circled it. CGC is bugging out now. They're trying to backtrack. Now they're changing stuff. Now Marvel's pissed off. Marvel said we didn't.
Yeah, they didn't sanction that, bro. They
So
sanctioned the first one.
And Boston,
3,000 one.
So Boston, they have one coming out, and now Marvel's like, yo, we gotta take that shit out. So now the Black Flag is supposed to be taking that off the market now.
Now it'll be worth $1,000.
But all those books that got CGC now are gonna be worth a lot of money. Everything that if you try to send the book out CGC, they're gonna tell you no.
No, they're not gonna grade it.
Yep, they're gonna tell you no. So all those that got graded 9.9s, 10s, they're gonna be a lot of money.
Impossible.
Well, they got them. And this should happen with that. Remember, Bad Idea was putting those clear copies that were getting 10, 9, 8, 3. And people were spending like $1,000 for it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, CGC, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
It's a clear book. How is that a 10.0? For 10 or 9? So.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, and when we talk on the thing, we'll talk about exactly what happened when Paul fucking started crying.
Alright, no. We're gonna talk about it.
No, we're talking about it.
No, I mean later.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
We'll see. Quickly before that shit gets here.
Yeah, I know.
Hey!
Hello.
Yeah, you're on point with the shirts, man.
Oh, thank you. This is the latest in the collection.
Nice.
Hey, spider friendly.
Very nice. Oh, you got some goodies there too?
I got one goodie.
Okay, okay.
Aaron said there's a box of things. Are these the comics that what the thing couldn't sell for me?
I don't know. I found them today when I was cleaning. These are yours. Right?
They are.
Cliff.
We're slowly cleaning up a little bit.
What you got here? Goodies?
I don't know. These were from my basement.
Really?
From when I once upon owning a comic book store.
Flip. Let's see what you got. Kings of Gotham. Elephant Room.
Oh, Soldier Zero.
Stanley.
Dan Abney and Andy Lanning. I mean, this was actually very good.
Yeah.
Not just Soldier Zero. There was a whole bunch of things. They were independent for Boom Studios, and like Stanley was like, "Oh, these are a few ideas," and they were like, "Okay, Stan, we got your ideas. We're rolling with it." And like, dude, I mean, it's amazing. Like, this was great. It should have been optioned, and now it's just. I think Soldier Zero was my favorite. But it's good stuff, and they're probably dollar bin worthy.
So what? All right, man. So we got a pretty decent week this week. Amazing Spidey, Norman Osborn. Something's up with that. Don't know, but we'll check it out. Judgment Day #2. Big summer crossover. I like so far. Immortal X-Men last week was really good. So I like the tie-ins have been good. So I think that helps. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you have the event and the tie-ins feel weak. But I think they're really strengthening this mini-series. So that's good. Black Panther, so far it's been all right. I like this series so far. I don't know what they're doing with T'Challa. I don't know what's up with that, but it feels like maybe they're gonna push him off to the side a little bit.
I think so.
That's a little
kind of like with the. You know when they pushed Fantastic Four because they were with Fox and stuff.
That's what it makes me a little grumpy, but hey, whatever. I'll go along for the ride. Avengers, this is just a big part of the multiverse story that they're doing, but
Supposed to be a key.
Yeah, but I think it's good though. I think this is one area where the multiverse stuff they're doing really good with it, because it's been a long build for years in this book, you know. So I think they're doing all right. This is the Steve Rogers Captain America book. The art's always on point on this, so it's a nice looking book. That's for sure. It's an interesting story. I don't know how wild I am about the whole idea about the Shield having all this mystery to it, but I'll go along for the ride if it's good. Hey man, years ago I said, don't bring Bucky back, and you know what I'm saying? And then we're all eating crow on that, dude. So I'll go for it. Captain Carter. This is the last issue of this miniseries. I'm a big Captain Carter fan because I love that episode of What If. This is not like the same version as the animated. It's its own story, but I think they did a really good job with this. This is the last issue, so we'll see what happens. This is a one-shot Ghost Rider. Must be what, 50th? Yeah, 50th anniversary.
Yep.
Of Ghost Rider. So I think it's like an
Supposed
anthology.
to be a key in there too.
Yeah, I think it's an anthology deal, so it should be cool. Gwen Stacy. I guess this book, there were maybe 2 issues that came out right before the pandemic, and then once that hit, then I guess the rest of the series didn't get finished. So I think they're reprinting.
Yeah, it's reprints.
A couple issues, and then they're finishing it.
Yeah.
So.
I wasn't gonna get it because of its $10 price tag.
Yeah.
But there's a Momoko.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. And I like everybody involved in it. Christos Gage is an excellent Spidey writer. Todd Knox. This is his kind of. Todd Knox. This is kind of his area. I think he's perfect for a story set in that time period. So I'm up for that. Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor. I actually was kind of surprised by this. Not that I would have any reason to think it wasn't good, but I was surprised that I'm liking it as much as I am. And I think you can pick it up without, if you haven't read any of the other stories with these characters, I think you can jump right in. I think it's really good. Ms. Marvel and Wolverine, you know, I don't know if I'm the biggest Ms. Marvel fan, but I loved the show. So I'm kind of just in that frame of mind right now. So I was like, oh, why not? And it's X-Men with her. So let's see what happens. There's going to be other one-shots throughout the next couple months that are going to tie in. It's going to tell one larger story, so we'll see. I am not really a Punisher guy.
No.
Never really. I liked I liked the Mike Zeck miniseries from back in the
Classic.
80s. I mean, that's a classic. And John Romita Jr. Punisher Warzone was incredible, that book. But I'm not like a vigilante, gun-toting vigilante guy. But
He's
this
coming
book,
back in the MCU.
But dude, that's what they've been saying, right?
Yeah.
That they let that slip. But this book is excellent.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
good.
I think that if you're reading Daredevil, you want to read this too, because they showed him a little bit in that first issue, and I think these guys are gonna.
Well, yeah, he's with the hand, so
Yes, it's inevitable.
It's inevitable. the
It's
crossover.
inevitable, but I think it's very specific. I think they're building to it. You know what I mean? Because Daredevil's going for a more kind of global story now. Venom, Lethal Protector. This has been a fun miniseries. David Michelinie, who created the character, so fun. You know, if you're just looking for an old school Venom story, it's good. And last but not least, this is one I've been looking forward to. X-Men Legends #1. So this is this is like the previous series where they're kind of filling in, you know, gaps in X-Men history. I was a big classic X-Men fan back in the day, the reprint series, and then they would always have like an extra story. So this is kind of just like a bigger version of that. This specifically, as I think you can tell by this really cool Dan Jurgens variant cover, is going to be set right after Hulk or Incredible Hulk 181.
Okay.
So it's literally right after that story. So what happens next with Wolverine, with the Canadian government and all that? I don't know if Beast is just on the cover for the heck of it, or if he's actually involved in the story. It could be. But we'll see. I think I've actually been really looking forward to this. I like this cover, but I like this cover too. I don't know. There's just something fun about it. It reminds me a little bit of that classic X-Men #1 cover that Art Adams. That's just like super iconic cover. But I've been looking forward to this book too, and it's written by Roy Thomas, who's like a Marvel legend, obviously. So this one's been delayed for a little while.
Yeah.
So it finally dropped. So.
All right.
So man, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to this week, man.
Howdy, man. How are you?
What's up, homie?
Not too much.
Chilling?
Yep. Just what's new? Oh, we got Comic-Con this weekend.
Let's talk about it.
I'm worried about the parking.
Parking?
Yeah. You think the church will let us? Tommy said, "Who cares? If that's our issue, that's awesome."
Yeah, I mean, I would talk to them first.
If that's a problem, he said that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So
it's
he said
definitely a
we'll
good problem.
deal with that when it comes to it. But I really
I
feel
think
like.
you'll be fine because you have that whole plaza.
But this half is going to be all tents and vendors and stuff. Everywhere where we usually we'll probably be fine. We'll be excited. You gonna be here early?
Yeah.
My worst convention experience. I got two. So my first one was in the 80s. We went to a convention in I forgot what hotel it was. We were young. We went to go see John Byrne. And we waited online. And my God, what a dick. I mean,
Really?
big dick. You don't have the comic book ready? Oh, you're gonna have to go into the back of the line. Like, I can't remember exactly. It was something to the effect of that, and I was like, that's the biggest dick I've ever seen. Second worst experiences, it had to be like 5-6 years ago. We went to New York Comic Con, and they tried some new line to get into New York Comic Con, and the fucking line went literally around the block from 12th Ave to 11th Ave. Bro, it took us almost an hour and a half to get inside. It was fucking horrible. It was horrible.
Worst comic book convention experience. You know, looking back on it, it's not terrible, but the first New York Comic Con. So this has got to be 06, 07 maybe, right? So the Javits Center, they only rented out like a quarter of that building that first year. And they did not, I don't know if they intentionally oversold the show or what happened, but we spent basically 3/4 of the day not, just standing in line.
Wow.
You couldn't even get on the show floor. The only way we got away with it, to have something fun to do, is we would duck out and you could go into panels. And then you just had to go get back in line to get in under the show floor. I don't think we got there early in the morning, 7, 8 o'clock or whatever. I don't think we actually walked onto the show floor till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And like, I remember the fire marshal was going to show. They had the cops, and the fire marshal was going to show up because they were way past capacity because they had other things going on in the building. It wasn't just the Comic-Con. There was like a fitness expo or something else going on, and everything was just kind of, the New York Comic-Con was just off to the side a little bit, and they figured it out after that year. That I don't know if the next year it was, but I know 2 years later they just took over the whole building. So at the time it was definitely a little aggravating, but I would say that would qualify probably as like the most annoying experience I ever had at a comic book convention.
Welcome to Cliff's Corner, where I share with you my comic book picks of the week, and if I feel like it, do some critiquing. Choice number 1, X-Men Legends. I don't even know what this is about. Are they in continuity stories?
First story after 181.
Interesting. After 181.
It's a new story.
Right, but in continuity.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm fascinated, so I picked it up. But wait.
And
I love Todd Knock. So I got the Todd Knock. Then I saw my beloved Dan Jurgens and Brett Breeding, who I just saw at Terrificon, and I know and love their work from their days on Superman in the 90s and other amazing things they worked on. So I had to grab that. Starhenge issue 2. I figured I got issue 1. It kind of got me, so I'm just gonna stick it out and see how it goes. Deceased #1, War of the Undead Gods, Tom Taylor. So I got it because I want to read it, and Andy Lanning works on it too. But then they had to go and do one of those X-Men covers. I'm ashamed of myself. Dark Crisis World Without Justice League. This one features Green Lantern, John Stewart. And of course, the backup story is Hawkgirl.
So we're taking pictures with fucking them. And as we take the picture, we're getting ready to leave.
Superman's boyfriend finally has a code name. Gossamer. I love it. I'm still enjoying this book very much.
So we go back. So what? And Beverly Hills. I'd actually rather have that. Beverly Hills.
Amazing Spider-Man 7, first appearance of the Osborn spider suit. So, getting it because it's a key, not because I actually have real feelings. But speaking of real feelings, Judgment Day #2. Now, I liked Exodus, the Exodus issue of X-Men, of whatever X-Men book that was from last week.
spinoff?
No, it was a crossover, because like the X-Men books.
Yeah, spinoff. Well, crossover.
Crossover, yeah. So I liked the one on Exodus, and like it actually it set a tone. It wasn't much of a crossover so much as it was like, this is what's going on with Exodus. So like I kind of like that.
Did you read X-Men Red?
X-Men Red, that was nice.
Uranos
Yeah.
eradicated Rocco.
So like that was cool. Anyway, I can't wait to read this. I'm trying to get fired up about this. I'm really having a hard time. Like this and this and Dark Crisis are taking their sweet time firing me up. I'm sorry. You're spoiled. I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled from the old days, I'm spoiled from Infinite Crisis spoiled us. I'm spoiled just from Infinite Crisis. That was a great little Countdown Infinite Crisis. That one shot, that $1 book was an amazing setup. Oh, let's clean up all the kryptonite. Oh, Ted, you think something's wrong. Ted ended up dead. That was a great book. Great. Avengers number 59. It's the first full appearance of 2 characters.
Yes.
So I'm getting it because it's a key. But I'm getting Ghost Rider Vengeance number 1 for me. And it might be a key.
That's a key too.
And it might be a key.
Forget which,
Yeah.
what key it is.
But the point is, it looks great. And because I'm a sucker, I got the Iron Cat reprint for number 1.
That's the second print.
I'm sorry, second printing.
We must have the proper terminology clear.
That's right. I chose to acquire the second printing of Iron Cat this week, specifically because second printings have truly been having a notable increase in value, and I am having extreme FOMO on the situation.
Extreme FOMO.
Extreme. And speaking of extreme FOMO, but also because I was hyped by watching Prey last night, I did pick up Predator number 1.
What cover did you get?
The cover that matches the box. Leo, you?
You.
That's right. You are a deserving variant. And then, because sometimes I like to buy things that are just for me, even if it is $8, the Dungeons and Dragons Annual.
Wow.
Where you just buy something because you enjoy reading it. That's why. And actually I enjoy Superman Son of Kal-El. But this is just purely for the joy of reading. I don't have to worry about key issues, who's in it, who's not in it, first appearances, last appearances, death, nothing. It's just fun. That's the importance of collecting comics. This was Cliff's Corner. Thank you for joining me. Next week we'll discuss Alternicon and did I strangle any of my friends?
Here we go. You've been watching Prey, and you're into Predators. The new short box Predator number 1 just came out.
Releases. Yep. Multiple covers to that too. There's one by Scotty Young, one by Momoka. That's the A cover that they decided to do the box with. There's an alien box, like he had said. And then we've got some Predator action figures. We'll have some San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Predator action figures on Saturday.
Yep.
So.
Nice.
Alterniverse, Alternicon. This Saturday you can pick yours up. Don't fret.
So, I'm Green Shirt Guy. My books for the week. Again, another fan of 8 Billion Genies. Giving this a shot. Read the synopsis. Looks interesting. Love Everlasting. Slumber. I think this is the last one in the story. It's kind of crazy story. Same thing as last week. Gotta go. Anything Andolfo does, I buy. Avengers been up and down. I'm staying with it. Star Wars. Buy anything and everything Star Wars, because like I said last week, bad Star Wars is still good Star Wars. I stay with the Bond books. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. I'm gonna give this one another whirl. And another number 2 of a brand new series. Actually, I haven't read the first one yet, so I can't say anything about it, but the artwork looks good, so I'll stay with it. And I will be here on Saturday too. Come see me.
Hey, so we're discussing what our worst and best scenarios were at the Comic Cons, all the different Comic Cons. We've been to a bunch over the years, but it's horrible to say, but the worst Comic Con experience I think was I go down to New York Comic Con obviously as a retailer, and their first year was a disaster. Because I probably wasn't even going to go in. We basically snuck into the first New York Comic Con. We had a special badge. But we did meet
George Perez at breakfast.
Oh no, we had a wonderful time. But the thing is that the fire marshal was on the stairs saying no one else could come in. And I'd gotten called the next, I don't know, by Read Expo, somebody called me and said, they want all of our customers to come back. They apologized for what had happened. That going forward it'll be better because they'll have more room for everyone. They were gonna rent the whole Jacob Javits Center, right? So like finally they're gonna rent the whole Jacob Javits Center out. Next show from that point on it'll be better, and they were. But you know, they kind of said, oh, we owe you one. Well, years later, you know, my girlfriend wanted to go with me to the con, and I called for, you know, one extra ticket, and they were like, it was that easy, we would just give you a ticket, but we can't. So I get down there for the breakfast, and you know, we present who we are, and they're like, hey, did you need anything? And we're like what? And they were like, you know, more tickets to the show. So that was kind of yeah, and that show was pretty crowded too. That was the other thing, so it didn't matter. My girlfriend wouldn't have liked to have gone down anyway because it was too crowded. But still, it was just the idea that, like, you know, can't get a ticket to this thing, but we were actually offered tickets when we got down there. Yeah, I don't know, just there's something about that experience, like going down there and being basically told, oh, you can't come in, and then that sticks with you, you know what I mean? So that's probably the worst experience.
What is your worst convention experience, Cliff?
Oh my god. No, we're doing both. But like, Anthony, do you remember my worst?
Well, I will actually. I don't want to.
Well, no, but mine. Like, I think I have one, but I'm not even 100% sure it's the worst.
When Cliff and I went together, the worst thing that happened to us is somebody actually stole his luggage, the stuff that he had with him.
Oh, thank you! Thank you! We went to New York Comic Con! And you know, what's that room called? The Crystal Room?
Huh?
The Crystal Room is what it's called or something?
Yes.
Right, so that particular year, the Crystal Room, right, which is like where you can see over the convention center, Diamond did the Diamond Breakfast up there, right? It was the Diamond Breakfast was upstairs, right? So like, I think I left my suitcase up there. Anyhow, dude, that was awful because we had a really nice day. My suitcase was nowhere to be found. And then Friday, everyone else got to enjoy the convention, or at least everyone else I was hanging out with that weekend. Friday, I came home, had lunch with my mom, packed a new suitcase, and went back. I was like so mad, and having to spend money on the train. Yeah, I don't think I've had anything where anyone I don't think anything else compared to that.
What's good, Council? You know what time it is. It's time for my picks. Not Cliff's picks, not Steve's picks, they're definitely not Franklin's picks.
Not dick pics.
They're not Anthony's picks, and not the guy in the green shirt that you're gonna see in the videos picks either. These are my picks, alright? Alright, first one up, Samurai Doggy. Gives me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Usagi vibes, so I'm totally down for it to try issue number 1. Of course, Iron Cat number 1 second print. You know there was gonna be a second print, but Iron Cat is pretty good. I wasn't gonna pick this up because it's a $10 price tag, but of course they have a Momoko, so I'm forced to pick it up. This is Gwen Stacy number 1. This is a reprint and Q-Clip.
That's a Momoko.
Oh no, you're not talking about Momoko. No, you're not talking about Momoko.
I'm saying save you $10. Save you $10.
I wish. But anyway, Momoko, Gwen Stacy. Predator, Momoko, number 1. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Miss Marvel and Wolverine, number 1, Momoko. Pretty dope. Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor, Momoko. Nice. We also got The Amazing Spider-Man, number 7. We're gonna see what Norman does. Norman's always coming back into the picture. This is a dope John Romita Jr. cover, pretty dope. Superman, Son of Kal-El, one of my favorite series out. I thought I was only gonna stick to issue 5. I'm on issue 14, and it's been a pretty smooth ride, and I'm feeling it. Dope series. Judgment Day, Avengers vs. X-Men vs. Eternals. This is issue number 2. We're gonna see where it goes. I was okay with issue number 1. I was okay. It seemed like it was going back into its event status with Marvel. It had that feel. We also got the Momoko cover. Don't even say. This is a Momo. Yes. King Spawn, like I've been telling you guys, Spawn is dope. King Spawn is dope. McFarlane is doing his thing on the Spawn titles. It's cover A, cover B with a dope red cover. That's dope. Got Black Panther number 6. I'm feeling it a little bit. I'm just wondering where they're gonna end it at. With is Black Panther gonna stay in Wakanda? Is he still gonna be part of the whole thing? Because there's been a coup, sort of. So we'll see where that goes. A couple other Predator number 1A covers, because Marvel just acquired the license. They've been acquired it. They acquired Aliens as well. And now they're doing the Predator series. Got the Scotty Young Predator number 1, of course, which is pretty cool. Scotty Young. This is pretty cool. Of course, here we go. 8 Billion Genies number 4. I just read 8 Billion Genies number 1. I liked it. Now I have to go dig in my boxes for 2 and 3 so I can read them, because I got number 4 right now. I thought it was pretty clever when the guy was like, you read it, Cliff? So, spoiler alert, these genies show up and give a wish to everybody on the planet. Everybody has one wish. And they show up in a bar. And the bartender is like, okay, my wish is to make sure that nobody else's wishes affect anybody in this bar. So outside, all chaos is going on. And inside the bar, there's nothing happening. So for instance, one of the girls in the bar wishes that a guy would like her. And he's like, I don't like you, what are you talking about? She's like, oh my God, my wish. And the guy was like, my wish worked. So it doesn't affect inside the bar. Pretty good. We're gonna be checking that out.
She lost her wish?
Her wish was granted, but they were inside the bar. So it negates her wish. Maybe when they get outside the bar, he'll like flip and be like, oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah. But while you're inside the bar, nobody's wishes affects anybody else. Yeah. And this is the Superman one, sort of. We'll see where that goes. Of course, we also got a second printing of number 2. Of course. Remember Image when they said no more second prints? Remember that? And of course, a second printing of number 3. Han Solo and Chewbacca. I really like this series. Issue number 5. We get to see Han Solo's father. You know about that, Cliff? So, well, he may be Han Solo's father. Han believes him a little bit, but I think there's trickery afoot. But he acts just like Han. He does things just like Han. So it might be him. Pretty good. Bounty Hunters number 24. It's pretty good Star Wars side book covering all the bounty hunters. Pretty good. Now we have the Choose Your Destiny variants. This is Kiev Trennis. She's from the High Republic. I'm pretty sure they're trying to make her a big character in the upcoming new round of High Republics. And, alright, what is it, Cliff? Is it Reva or Reva?
It's Reva. They've been calling her Reva, so
okay.
That's it, right?
So we'll go with that. It's Reva. This is her first comic cover appearance, which makes this a very big key, because you know they're going to do more stuff with her on the show. Avengers and Moon Girl. Reason why I picked this up, this is a dope cover, but the story is great. She's lost Devil Dinosaur in the first issue. Miles Morales helps her with a certain part of it, and it's really good. And the reason why is because Moon Girl, if y'all don't know about Moon Girl, she's literally the smartest person in the Marvel Universe. And the way she just reacts and does stuff is just phenomenal. I don't know why she's not becoming a bigger character. There is an animated show coming. I know that for sure. And it will be out, and the arch villain's going to be the Beyonder, supposedly, and that. But Moon Girl, sleeper character. Try to get her first appearance. And I picked this one up because I picked up number 2 of After School, because that was a controversial issue about Roe versus Wade. And I feel weird picking up issues number 2 and not knowing what happened with issue number 1. So I picked up number 1 to go along with it. All right, so those are my picks. They're not Cliff's picks. They're not Green Shirt Guy's picks. They're not Steve's picks. They're not Franklin's picks. You see what I mean? You see what happens when I do my picks? You see this? They're my picks. All right? They're mine. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Hi, everybody. Cliff here at Alterniverse, and I just want to remind you that this Saturday, August 13th, we're going to be having a small convention in your store, Alternicon. So you can come out and meet local artists, Ryan G. Brown, who's worked on many IDW comics. Christian St. Pierre was a friend of the store, wonderful artist. Raymond Lowell, who I happen to love and recently did a commission for me, he's going to be here. Steve DeSario is going to be here, and he'll be signing his Vampirella covers. And it's going to be a lot more here. And of course, you can meet me and Sam and the rest of the gang because, we're fun. So come on out this Saturday, August 13th, 2022, and join us for Alternicon.
Ready? Alright, this week's books. X-Men Legends. Pretty dope. Then, Choose Your Destiny. Buying all of these. Choose Your Destiny. Reva, right?
Reva.
Whatever her name is. Punisher, good story, bugged out. And then Predator came out, so I got all these damn covers. I got that one, I got the Scotty Young. I believe this is Scan, I can't remember the dude's name, but this was dope too.
Yeah.
And Hyuk Lee. That one's sick. Which I think there's a 1 in 500 or 1 in 100, which is the Virgin.
Yeah, let's take the logo out.
Yeah, Rob will get those from me. Another Predator. Yeah, so I got all of those.
Did you get the Momoko?
No, I'm not into Momoko, bro, like you. Second print Iron Cat. First cover. Appearance in there. Black Panther. See how it is. All kind of stories kind of like. Mainly for the cover. Predator. See if 2 gets any better.
You didn't like part 1?
I don't know. I really
I thought it was okay.
That wasn't great, but then again. Number 4. See how it goes. So far, not that bad. And just a bugged out cover. And that's it. Peace.
So, best experience, I would have to say, was getting at New York Comic Con. This was several years after the first one. Getting to sit in on a panel that Stan Lee was on. I never got to meet Stan Lee. Never got that experience or whatever as a fan to talk to him or to see him or whatever, like for an autograph or anything like that. But which is okay. It is what it is. But I feel like this was cooler because I got to sit in a room and just listen to him talk for an hour. You know what I mean? And I was only 20 feet away from him or something, And I don't know, though it would have been nice to have an autograph or to say hi to him and give him, the usual hi heroes kind of, Excelsior and do the whole bit, you know what I mean? But to just sit and listen to him talk for an hour, and it was probably all, honestly, I don't even know if I remember half of what he talked about. It was probably all stuff that we've all heard him talk about 100 times. But just to say I was there, you know what I mean? And I'll never forget, when he got up, he was leaving the room, and some just dude in the back, some loudmouth dude was like, I love you, Stan, you're the greatest human being that ever lived. And this dude screamed this at the top of his lungs. And Stan just looked around, and he just had this little smirk on his face, you know what I mean? You could tell that it just made his day. I don't know, it was super sweet. It was cool to see, you know what I mean? We just have this legend built into our heads of Stan, and he's probably, had so much, praise, dropped on him over the years. He's probably tired of, probably got tired of hearing it or whatever. But it was just this one little moment that somebody some way in the back of the auditorium shouted something, and it just made, just made him smile for a second. So I thought that was cool. I would say that probably when I think about comic book conventions, I'm not a big autograph. I have autographed comics, and I don't really chase a lot of that stuff. I'm not don't worry about it a whole lot. It's just kind of the experience of it. So I think that experience was probably my favorite. Yeah, definitely.
So my best experience at any con was New York Comic Con. We got to meet Stan Lee, and waiting online, and I was with my kids and my wife. The kids were dressed up. I forgot exactly what they were dressed up as, but we go over there, and before you get to him, his handlers are outside. Do not talk to Stan Lee. Don't look him in the face. Go around, take a picture, and get the fuck out. And I was like, fuck that. This dude was $100 to take a picture with. And I was like, and we waited a while. And I told my wife, we're gonna talk to this dude. So as soon as we go in, first thing I was like, Stan Lee, it was a pleasure meeting you. I've been looking up to you for a long time. My kids come out, and the dude stopped everything. He was like, oh my God, they're so cute. What are you dressed up? And bro, he stood there for about 20 minutes talking to them. Got up, shook their hands. He was awesome. Then sat back down. His handler had to help him sit down. You could tell how frail this dude was. But they had to sat him back down. They had to prop him up to the position he is for like an hour, which is just crossing his legs. It was crazy how I didn't realize how bad he was at that time. That was like his second to last con. I think after that he did one more con and then it was a wrap. But that was pretty cool. I think that was my best experience. Met Jim Lee. Jim Lee was cool, but his handlers are dicks also. They don't want you to take a picture with him, but I took a selfie, and as I take a selfie, you hear the guy yelling. I had a video, and I'm taking video as I take a picture, and you hear the guy, no, 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 no. It's like, fuck that. You gotta wait a line for an hour, and you can't take a picture with the fucking dude? Fuck that, bro. Meanwhile, these dudes are bringing portfolios to show this fucking guy in 20 minutes. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. I want to take a picture with the dude. So, you're gonna see a lot of that shit when we go to New York Comic Con. You'll see them. I mean, I don't know how many dudes you're gonna wait in line to check out.
I have no idea.
There's gonna be tons of dudes. You're gonna see dudes that are really fucking good artists, no lines, and just there's no rhyme or reason. And then you see like the hot dudes. You're gonna see what are these two dudes that are always together? Stegman and Cates. They always go to cons together. Their line is usually always 2 hours. This is insane. I don't even go to their lines anymore.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, like dudes like that. But you can go around and you'll find dudes that are really, really cool. They're by themselves. Nobody's messing with them. And those are the dudes I usually go up to.
Did that comic, the doggy, Samurai Doggy come in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Samurai Doggy, I got one.
Yeah, you got one? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
looking forward to that one.
Sorry, I like.
Oh, you even cut? Thank you, man.
I actually made those for you guys.
Oh, yeah?
I
You made them last night?
glued a bunch of pieces of cardboard.
Yeah? Nice. It's come in handy. I got a file cabinet, so it prevents it.
On 3 more.
Oh, did you really?
File cabinets?
Yeah.
I have 4 that are almost full, and I have a little teeny one now.
For your comics. And you put
I have
them
one
in
that's
what?
literally just Star Wars.
And what? So how are they filed in the filing cabinet?
Like this. They're standing up, and then they got.
Oh, is there a comic book box holding out, or are you using these cardboard pieces to
No,
hold
I
them up?
No.
foam board. I sliced it so
Yeah.
they fit, so they're separated by foam.
Like in mine, I have the tall 5. Like he has the ones that pull out from the side. I have the stacked one. You have the two one that.
I have 3 now that are 4-drawer,
Oh.
and then I have a 3-drawer one, and then I have a small 2-drawer one. That one's the one I have.
Those I think are really good. The 2-drawer ones where
Well,
you
it's
can
all
make
the same
5
style.
rows.
Well, that
inside.
one I think I can only put 3
Oh, okay.
in, but the
Okay.
4-drawer ones are 5.
But some.
Am I the only one who can't believe this shit? Am I?
Well, you gotta be careful. Some file cabinets, the drawer itself isn't high enough because I'm having that problem with mine. I had free cabinets given to me, so I just used it as best I can, and these.
I
these
have
come in
trouble.
handy.
I have trouble just maintaining my short boxes and keeping that in check. Like that's already enough work for me. You guys are talking about some next level cutting foam up. God bless you, for real.
No, I got them at the Habitat for Humanity Restore.
Oh,
I
really?
got 3 of them for like $26 or something like that.
Yeah. No, you
it was,
can get
it was a
some pretty
steal.
good
I was
stuff
like,
there.
my wife texted me. She's like, "Do you want it?" There was this tall one. I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "There's more." I'm like, "Buy them all. I'm on my way."
Man, that's a spouse. That's some serious support. That's some serious support. It's like I know you're a collector friend. You're in collector frenzy. Do you want me to pick this up while I'm here so that I can enable you because I love you that
She's
much?
thinking about you.
She was. That's what. To be fair though, she goes, you know, this is it though. You can't. What is the word she uses? You can't grow out into the living room. I'm like, yeah, I know.
No, but you're gonna find new ways to max out the room that you're in.
Well, you're not wrong.
You know, next it's gonna be ceiling installations.
I was thinking the same thing. They come down from the ceiling like a TV.
Yep. Already. See? It's dangerous.
All right. Second printing, new Fantastic Four. The only reason why I'm reading this is Wolverine. Avengers, hopefully it'll come to an end. It's already up to almost 60 there. Judgment Day, I'm not sure what to expect. I haven't started reading this yet. And they're in like every single area. X-Men, you know, Avengers. I like the variants, you know. And City of Magic. I just started this, so I haven't really, not sure yet, but I read the premise of what it was about, and it seemed pretty cool, so I'm gonna give it a try. Gotham, Future State. I think this is pretty cool, man. I've been reading this for a while, and it's pretty interesting. This, it's just because it's Red Sonja. I like the covers. I don't know what exactly. It's a one shot, so. And this Samurai Doggy, man, I was looking forward to it. The artwork, man, looks hot, and I'm excited. I can't wait to start. And then Sheena, you know, I just collected because I read the volume before. Kind of liked it, so I wanted to see what this was about. This is, it's okay, you know, nothing to write home about. And these are the two covers that they got here. That's it.
Was that pretty good?
What's your best experience now?
Oh my God! So it's Wizard World Philly. I can't remember what year, but it's very close to Infinite Crisis. And this is like my second time meeting Phil Jimenez, and I had only met him one other time very briefly, and like I didn't feel like that was like a good like, hello, how do you do? So this time I am like stoked. He is sitting there and he's doing his sketches, and this dude is there like going on and on about like Wonder Woman being a creature of vengeance and like comparing her to Wolverine and how she should have been slicing and dicing Omax in revenge for what happened to the Amazons during Infinite Crisis. And I'm like, dude, what on earth do you know about Wonder Woman that you're talking about this? So I just came in strong on like, you know, Wonder Woman is really like a beacon of like hope and love and like no, she's not, and she knows that there's innocent people inside the Omax, right? So she's not gonna be slicing and dicing them. That's just absolutely not who she is. So anyhow, like Phil was just like, oh, that was awesome when we wrapped up and he was walking out, and I just talked to him on the way out the door. I didn't even get a sketch or anything, but it was just such a great, fulfilling moment. So I went back to my hotel room. I was with Dave and Benny, and like so that night I was like, oh my God, I gotta think of something cool for Phil to draw me. And like the next morning, Benny and I were like this third and fourth person on Phil's line in the morning, and we got beautiful sketches. I got Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel on one of my Blank Avenger covers, and it was just a great freaking weekend.
What's your best experience?
At Comic-Con?
Any convention.
I mean, I got my first cover, that Lady Death, from talking to Brian Polito. Brought my dad with me when it actually came out. It was a New York Comic Con 2016 exclusive. That was probably, I mean, I met Jim Lee too, and I got a sketch.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How was Jim?
Oh, he was awesome. He was super, like, you know, it's super busy. There were so many people in his line, and he was trying to get everything done. But he still, like, you know, stopped, took the time, look up, smile, shake my hand, you know what I mean? And yeah, I got a little Joker sketch, marker sketch, so that was pretty dope.
Nice.
But yeah, probably my cover, because I used to collect Lady Death when I was a little kid. To come like for full circle, have my pops there too, you know. Probably that. I'd have to say that.
Chilling.
Was it good?
It's good to see you.
A weekly take, you know.
You want to flip through it real quick?
Trying to figure it out. It really ain't much, man. It's just basic covers, man. I just got a couple of ratios. I put a lot back, man. I gotta chill. Closet, 1 in 50, 1 in 25. Got the Spider-Verse, 1 in 25. You got the X-Men, Immortal X-Men. I think that's the Adams cover. Momoko, I'm sorry, yeah, 1 in 25. Momoko Twig, Virgin, Philadelphia, 1 in 10. ASM number 7, 1 in 25. Predator, first issue, 1 in 25, and then the 1 in 50. Philip 10, I think, and then the 1 in 10 ASM. All the rest of the stuff's just basic stuff. I actually missed. This is stuff from last week, because I wasn't here last week because I was working. So I'm trying to double up. I got to pick up like 2 weeks.
All right.
I'm trying to slim it down a little bit, man.
All right.
You know what
All
I mean?
right.
So now we're going to talk about the best comic book convention experience. For me, that's really, really tough because I've gone to a lot of cons. So, what are we? Baltimore, Boston, Terrificon, what else? New York Comic Con. Where else have we been? There's been local shows, right? We've even put on shows. We're putting on a show this weekend. Alternicon, come out to it Saturday. Yeah, there's so many. I can't like pinpoint one. It's not fair. It's just not fair to everybody to be like, oh, that was my, favorite thing. I can say what sucked about certain things, of course, but like to say like what's the best, that's really tough. Really tough.
Do you remember a pleasant experience?
A lot. Like I mean, a lot. Met a lot of people. So I mean, just this past weekend we went to Terrificon, right? We met the voice of Lion-O, right? He was a great guy. Like that is gonna be in my mind forever, right? So that's like a perfect experience. At one of the New York Comic Cons, we fought with Alex Ross. It was wonderful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a great guy, and it's just awesome to meet him and have him sign a bunch of stuff for you. And yeah, so I think all those experiences kind of like, it's hard to say, oh, this was, but that was a huge highlight. Yes, was meeting Alex Ross and Bob Larkin. Right, and getting a drawing from Bob Larkin is like, right, that's a big experience. But again, in my mind, we're gonna have Christian here this weekend, right, and like he's doing covers and pictures for me all the time, and it's like each one of those is like amazing. So it's hard for me to say the one best thing or whatever, right? Like if you were to say, oh, well, what about the past weekend? It would be like, yeah, Ronaldo drove. I didn't have to drive. It was A+. And the show, they put on a great show. I suggest everybody go to that show, Terrificon. Of course, New York Comic Con, it's a much bigger show, so I think if you don't like the crowds as much, it's a little bit more line con now, right? You gotta wait online to do anything. Terrificon didn't feel like that, right? It doesn't. I don't know. Even though it's a big convention, we went the last day.
It wasn't like, it wasn't out of control. It was busy, but it wasn't out of control. I would go back to that one again. And that one seems to be slowly getting bigger at a manageable level instead of just blowing up where you can't get around and stuff. Yeah, it was good. And they had big names. Sometimes you go to these mid-level shows and they have one big name and they're there for 2 days and then they don't show up the last day. But they were all there.
And by the way, people were like Ron Garney. I said hello to him. He walked away from his table as I said hello to him. So
That's right.
He gave Nicole his table. Yeah, it was like great. You know what I mean? Garth Ennis was there, right? He waved hi. It was great. Like, we saw Dan Didio, right? So like there was a lot of of the great comic book royalty were even there. Yeah, it's tough for me to say like, this is a lot of great experiences. So.
Every time I go to New York Comic Con, I run into somebody random.
Me too.
The first year I went, I was putting books away because I was getting stuff CCC. They turned around and Robert Kirkman was standing right here. I was like, oh, can I get a picture? So that was kind of cool. I had that happen. And then 2 years ago, or actually the last time I went, right before the pandemic, same thing with Brian Posehn. I was putting something around. He was standing right there. I was like,
oh, Big Apple Comic Con. That's where I met Christian. I met Carrie Fisher. I met Dirk Benedict. I bumped into him. So literally bumping into people. Yeah. So Dirk Benedict was sweet, right? Like I was backing up and our elbows collided, and he turned around and I was just like, "Your face from the A-Team," like, "Hey, you're the real Starbuck," and shook his hand and he was like, "I'm so sorry," you know what I mean? Like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you." And I was like, "Oh," and that was it. That was our exchange. But like, he was really, kind in that little moment. So right there, that was like a big moment. I didn't expect to see him. So I don't think he was there. I think is his name Robert Hatch? I don't want to get the actor's name wrong. The one that played Apollo. He had written a book, so I think that's why he was there, obviously, to promote the book. And I think Dirk Benedict was just there to talk with him, maybe, or something. So, because I don't think he was scheduled to be at the show, but he was there. So, yeah.
No. I think for a Prey, for a Predator series movie, it could be the finest, right? And like, you know, but also like it didn't like leave me like feeling things like. But the Sandman, watching the Sandman, I couldn't stop watching. I watched it till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and like I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. You know? Yeah, I finished it at day 2. There's something to be said about art, right? Like this is when we're really talking about art, because this thing has been a comic book, it's been a book, it's been an audio book, audio play, audio series. Now it's actually a Netflix it's got a season of Netflix. And like, and I purposely didn't go back. I didn't listen to the audio book. I didn't reread any Sandman. I didn't touch it because I wanted to enjoy this for what it was. And I'm still thinking about it. It was just that good. And again, nothing is absolutely perfect, but I feel all the choices they made here were just great. Like I'm still thinking about it. I'm still feeling it. So that's it. I'm going to use the bathroom. We'll talk more.
All right, everybody come out to Alternicon at Alterniverse in Hyde Park this Saturday. There's lots of books, lots of toys, lots of cool things to see and do. Check it out.
Action.
All right,
I'm just gonna peace out. Yeah. Thanks.
have a good night, guys. We'll see you Saturday for Alternicon.
We're holding it up right? There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see you guys here.
Later.
Peace out.
What? See you Saturday.
That should be our new thing. Moose Knuckles.
Peace.
See you next Tuesday.
Go.
What the hell's the name of the store again?
Alternative, bro.
Oh, Alternative. All right, tell me when you're ready. Oh, you've been recording on time. You suck.
Uh-huh.
Where they go to a castle and it's haunted. They make the people on the castle make believe it's haunted for tourists.
But it's actually haunted. Isn't that? Oh shit! All right, we'll come back to that.
Your best experience, huh?
I don't have a best experience. I like all the shows. Like each one has had like a. I can't do this. Sorry, like I can't.
The man, what is his name? The who's the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog?
It's not the voice, it's the artist.
Oh,
John Brennan.
it is the Bart. He is the artist.
Yeah, it's the artist.
He's not gonna be here. Well, they better remove that hashtag. What about Cybergirl Lita? So let's do this again.